Have you ever noticed how some people seem to attract success effortlessly while others struggle endlessly? Why do some individuals achieve their dreams while others remain stuck, even when they work just as hard? What if the secret isn't in what you do, but in how you think? Imagine two people running the same race. One believes they are destined to win, while the other doubts every step. Who do you think will perform better? The truth is, the mind shapes reality. When you start acting like you've already won, the world begins to respond differently to you. Let's take a simple example. Two candidates walk into a job interview. One enters with confidence, smiling, already believing the job is theirs. The other is nervous, unsure, and hoping for luck. Even if they have the same qualifications, who do you think leaves a stronger impression? The one who already feels like a winner. Welcome to Wisdom Woven, where we dive deep into timeless wisdom to transform your life. If you're enjoying this content, don't forget, there are so many views on this channel, but only 0.2% subscribe. So please like, comment, share, and subscribe to our channel and drop your thoughts in the comments. Your support helps us bring more valuable insights to you. The idea of acting like you've already won isn't just about fake confidence. It's rooted in ancient wisdom, especially in Buddhism. The Buddha taught that reality is shaped by the mind. If you see yourself as victorious, your actions, energy, and even the way others perceive you start shifting. This isn't about arrogance. It's about certainty. Many people misunderstand success. They believe it's something they must chase, something distant. But Buddhism teaches us that the present moment holds everything we need. Success isn't a place you reach. It's a mindset you embody. When you think like a winner, you move differently. You speak with purpose. You make choices with clarity. You stop second-guessing yourself because you know, deep down, that you are already there. This shift in perception changes everything. Doubt is the greatest enemy. The Buddha spoke about how suffering comes from attachment, to fears, to worries, to what-ifs. But when you detach from fear and embrace confidence, you step into a new reality. Winners don't wait for external proof. They create it. They don't wait for success to give them permission to feel accomplished. They feel it first, and then success follows. Think about the last time you hesitated because you weren't sure if you were ready. What if instead, you acted as if you already had what you needed? How different would that moment have been? Buddhism teaches us that life is a reflection of our inner world. If you walk through life as a winner, you start seeing opportunities instead of obstacles. You see lessons instead of failures. You attract what aligns with your belief system. This concept isn't about pretending or faking it. It's about embodying the mindset that aligns with your goals. It's about stepping into the role of the person you want to be today, not someday in the future. As we explore deeper in this video, you'll learn how ancient Buddhist teachings align with modern success principles. You'll discover how to shift your thoughts, break limiting beliefs, and truly act like you have already won. Stay tuned. This might just change the way you see everything. The illusion of struggle, understanding samsara. Have you ever felt like no matter how hard you try, the world just keeps pushing back? It feels like you're caught in an endless cycle of effort, struggle, and setbacks. You push forward, only to face obstacles again and again. It's exhausting, isn't it? What if I told you that this struggle, this fight, is an illusion? That what seems like a constant battle may not actually be the way things truly are. In Buddhism, there is a concept called samsara. Samsara refers to the cycle of birth, life, death, and rebirth. But it doesn't just apply to the cycle of physical life. It applies to the mental patterns we get stuck in. It's the endless loop of desires, attachments, and struggles that keep us trapped in suffering. We live as if we are constantly fighting, constantly striving to break free. But the truth is, struggle itself is often an illusion. You might be thinking, but I work so hard. I have to fight to survive. And yes, life involves effort. But the real question is, what are you fighting for? Is it something outside of you? Or is it something inside of you that needs to be changed? Most people mistakenly believe that they must constantly fight against the world. They think that success, happiness, or peace is something they have to grab from the outside, as if the universe owes them something. But this belief is where the illusion begins. Samsara teaches us that suffering comes from craving. desiring things we don't have or are afraid of losing. We think that happiness comes from getting what we want, whether it's wealth, recognition, or success. But that craving creates a cycle of chasing and grasping that never truly satisfies. Even when you get what you desire, there's always something else you want, and so the struggle continues. The truth is, nothing outside of you can give you lasting peace. So, why do we keep chasing? It's because we're trapped in this illusion. Think about it for a moment. We often believe that if we just work harder, push more, or sacrifice more, we will reach that perfect point where everything clicks into place. But no matter how much we strive, there's always more to achieve. Why? Because we haven't realized that the constant need for external validation and success is rooted in our attachments. The Buddha taught that to break free from samsara, we need to release our attachments. This doesn't mean that we stop caring, or that we stop putting effort into our lives. It means that we stop defining our happiness by what we get and start finding peace in what we already have. We stop chasing after the illusion of external rewards and realize that true freedom comes from within. True freedom comes from accepting what is. It's like standing in front of a mirror. The reflection in the mirror isn't reality, it's just an image. Yet, we often treat it as if it defines who we are. We believe that our worth comes from the reflection, the things we have, the titles we hold, the approval we receive. But in reality, we are much more than that image. You are not defined by your achievements or failures. You are not defined by what others think of you. You are more than your struggle. When you realize this, the need for constant effort and struggle begins to fade. Imagine you're standing in a river, trying to swim upstream. You push and struggle against the current, exhausting yourself. But what if, instead of fighting, you let go and simply float? You'd move downstream effortlessly. The river doesn't need your struggle to flow. It flows on its own, naturally, without force. Your life, too, can flow effortlessly if you stop fighting against the current of samsara. You can flow with life rather than fighting against it. This doesn't mean you do nothing. It means you stop forcing things. You stop trying to control every outcome. You trust in the natural flow of life. You trust that when you stop struggling and start aligning with the present moment, things will come to you in the right time. The struggle you're facing right now, whether it's in your career, relationships, or personal growth, is often just a reflection of your inner resistance. It's not the world working against you. It's your attachment to how things should be that creates suffering. When you let go of these attachments, you step outside of samsara. You realize that the struggle is not necessary. The more you fight, the more you stay stuck. The more you release, the more you allow things to unfold naturally. This doesn't mean you stop caring about your goals or dreams. It means you stop defining your happiness by whether you reach them or not. You accept that you are whole, regardless of external circumstances. True success is realizing that you are already complete, just as you are. Consider the example of a flower. The flower doesn't strive to bloom. It doesn't worry about being beautiful or whether it will be picked. It simply grows, naturally, without effort. And when it blooms, it's perfect in its own way. It doesn't compare itself to other flowers or worry about whether it's the best. It simply is. This is the way of the true winner. It's not about striving, struggling, or comparing. It's about being, existing, and embracing the flow of life as it is. But this can be difficult to accept because we've been taught to push, to strive, to achieve. Society encourages us to measure our worth by what we achieve and how much we accumulate. But this constant striving creates a sense of emptiness, as if we're always reaching for something just beyond our grasp. We're told that we must do more, be more, to succeed. But when we finally pause and let go, we realize that we've been running in circles, and the true path was always within us. Samsara keeps us trapped in this cycle of craving, but peace comes when we release the need to chase. Let's dive deeper. When we begin to let go of the struggle, we stop seeing life as something we have to fix or improve. Instead, we start seeing it as something we can flow with, something we can experience fully in the present moment. Buddhism teaches that enlightenment is not about escaping the world, but about seeing it clearly. It's about seeing through the illusion of struggle and understanding that peace is already here. You don't need to go anywhere to find it. It's not about waiting for the right moment or the right achievement. Peace is in the now. By understanding that the struggle is an illusion, you free yourself. You stop defining yourself by what you've accomplished or by what you have. You start defining yourself by who you are, by the peace you carry within you, regardless of external circumstances. Life isn't about winning in the way the world tells us. It's about accepting the flow of life, letting go of attachments, and living fully in each moment. So, next time you feel overwhelmed by the struggle, remember, it's just a story the mind is telling you. You don't have to fight. Let go, and trust in the natural flow of life. Accept that you are enough, just as you are. When you stop fighting, you'll realize that victory doesn't come from what you achieve. It comes from how you see yourself in relation to the world around you. The real question isn't about how hard you're working or how much you're striving. It's about how much you're willing to let go of. Let go of the struggle, and watch how the universe begins to work with you, not against you. Because the truth is, you've already won. The role of karma, how actions shape reality. Do you ever wonder why some people seem to always find themselves in the right place at the right time, while others struggle despite their hard work? Could it be that the universe is simply fair, or is there something more at play? What if your life, as it is right now, is not just the result of chance but the direct outcome of your past actions? In Buddhism, there's a powerful concept called karma, and it's not just about good or bad deeds. Karma is about cause and effect. Every action, every thought, every word you speak creates an energy that ripples through your life. It's not just about what you do today. It's about what you've been doing your whole life, even in the smallest moments. Karma shapes your reality, and when you truly understand this, you can begin to take control of your future. Imagine a simple example. A person walks into a room and, with a smile, greets everyone kindly. That small gesture of kindness sets the tone for their interactions and creates positive energy in the room. Now, imagine someone else entering that same room, grumbling and focusing on everything they dislike. What energy do you think they'll bring with them? Chances are, the room's atmosphere will shift because of their negativity. This is karma at play. It's not just about big actions. It's the small choices, the little moments, that add up and influence the reality around you. Karma doesn't punish or reward. It simply reflects. If you plant a seed of kindness, the universe responds with opportunities for more kindness. If you plant seeds of doubt or anger, the consequences might not be immediate, but they will come. This is a fundamental truth in Buddhism. Our actions don't just disappear. They create ripples. The Buddha taught that we are the architects of our lives. You are what you think, he said. If you want to transform your life, you need to look at your actions and the energy you put into the world. When you act like a winner, believing that success is your right, living with compassion, treating others with respect, and taking consistent, positive steps, you are shaping your future. This isn't just about getting what you want. It's about living in harmony with the natural law of karma. Many people misunderstand karma. They think that if they do good things, they should instantly receive rewards. But karma isn't a transaction. It's not about tallying up points for good behavior. Karma works more like a seed that takes time to grow. The good deeds you do, the good thoughts you have, the positive energy you put into the world, will eventually come back to you. When you understand karma, you realize that every action counts. From the way you treat others to the way you treat yourself, it all matters. Karma isn't just about big, noticeable actions. It's also about your daily choices, the words you speak, the thoughts you entertain, the way you handle challenges. Every choice you make today will shape your tomorrow. Buddhism teaches that everything in life is connected. When you act with intention, when you live with a sense of purpose and kindness, you create a life that aligns with your higher self. When you act like you have already won, meaning you move through life with confidence, knowing that your actions are aligned with your values and purpose, you begin to shift your karma in powerful ways. What does this mean in practical terms? It means that the way you show up in the world today is the foundation for the opportunities you'll see tomorrow. If you live with integrity, if you make decisions that reflect your highest values, you will naturally attract the right people, circumstances, and opportunities into your life. Karma isn't about waiting for the perfect moment. It's about creating the right moments through your actions. Now, let's go a little deeper. What happens when we make mistakes? In Buddhism, Karma doesn't say we are doomed for life because of one bad action. The Buddha taught that everything is impermanent, and that includes our karma. We have the ability to transform it. If you've made a mistake, you don't need to punish yourself. Instead, you need to acknowledge the mistake, learn from it, and move forward with wisdom. This is how we begin to heal and shift our karma. Through mindfulness, intention, and conscious action. Consider the story of a person who has hurt someone in the past. If they continue to dwell on that mistake, their karma will reflect the guilt, the regret, and the anger they feel. But if they recognize the harm they've caused, seek forgiveness, and change their behavior moving forward, their karma begins to shift. The universe doesn't hold grudges. It reflects what you choose to create. When you act with the mindset of a winner, you change your karma. You stop looking for validation from others because you know that your actions are aligned with your values. You don't need to chase success because you are already living in harmony with the principles of cause and effect. You act with compassion, integrity, and purpose, and the results, though they might not be immediate, will come. So, how can you begin to harness the power of karma in your own life? Start by looking at your actions. Are you making choices that reflect the life you want to create? Are you acting with kindness, generosity, and integrity? Every small choice adds up to shape the reality you will live in. You might not see the results right away, but trust that the energy you put out into the world will eventually return to you. Remember, karma isn't just about external actions. It's also about your internal state. If you feel like a winner, if you believe in your own potential, if you treat yourself with love and respect, you begin to attract that same energy into your life. Karma works on both the inside and the outside. One powerful way to begin shifting your karma is through meditation. In Buddhist practice, meditation allows us to clear our minds, align with our true selves, and make intentional choices. When you meditate, you begin to cultivate awareness of your thoughts and actions. You become more mindful of how you react to the world around you. This mindfulness allows you to make better choices, which in turn helps you create positive karma. When you understand that karma is a reflection of your actions, thoughts, and intentions, you begin to live with a greater sense of responsibility. You no longer see yourself as a passive observer in life. You realize that every moment is an opportunity to shape your future. The key is to act in a way that aligns with your true values and purpose. If you act with integrity, if you believe in yourself and your worth, if you treat others with kindness and respect, you will begin to experience the positive outcomes that come from living in harmony with the law of karma. Now, take a moment and think about the actions you've taken today. What energy have you put into the world? Are your actions aligned with your highest self? If you want to shift your karma, start by making small changes in how you show up in the world. Treat yourself and others with kindness. Be mindful of your thoughts. Take intentional actions that reflect the person you want to become. The more you act with purpose, the more you will begin to see the fruits of your labor. Karma is not about waiting for things to happen. It's about creating the energy you want to see in your life through your actions. So, start today. Act like you have already won, and watch as the world begins to reflect that energy back to you. In the end, it's not about luck or chance. It's about the choices you make, the energy you put into the world, and how you live in alignment with your true self. This is the power of karma. You shape your destiny with every action you take. The power of visualization in Buddhist teachings. Have you ever wondered how the mind can shape reality? What if I told you that the ancient practice of visualization could be your key to success, not just in material life, but in spiritual growth too? Visualization isn't a New Age trick. It's an ancient tool used by Buddhists to transform their lives. The Buddha himself taught that the mind is a powerful force. In fact, everything we see in the world is created by our thoughts. So, if we can control our mind, we can also control our reality. Imagine this. You're standing at the base of a mountain. The peak seems so far away, so impossible to reach. But in your mind, you already see yourself standing on top, looking out at the vast landscape below. You can feel the wind in your hair, the sense of accomplishment in your chest. That feeling of victory and triumph is real, even if your feet haven't moved an inch. This is the power of visualization. It's the ability to create a mental image of success and to let that vision guide you towards it. In Buddhist philosophy, Visualization is deeply tied to the concept of mindfulness. The Buddha taught that mindfulness is not just about paying attention to the present moment. It's also about shaping your future with your mind's eye. When you visualize success, you're not simply daydreaming. You're preparing your mind, body, and soul to align with that success. This is the power of intention. It's not enough to just wish for success or hope for it to come. You must actively create the conditions for it in your mind. Take a moment to think about your own life. Have you ever reached a goal that you initially thought was impossible? Maybe you've wanted to start a business, change careers, or improve your health. What did you do before you took that first step? You probably imagined yourself succeeding, right? You visualized the outcome. This is exactly how visualization works in Buddhism. It's the mental preparation that precedes physical action. The clearer your vision, the stronger your focus becomes. And with strong focus, action follows naturally. But there's more to visualization than just imagining an end result. In Buddhist teachings, visualization also involves connecting with the process, not just the outcome. It's not about wishing for things to be handed to you. It's about seeing yourself overcoming obstacles, facing challenges, and working towards your goal with determination. Buddhists often use a method called guided visualization, where they mentally walk through a specific scenario, imagining themselves handling each situation with wisdom, calm, and confidence. This practice helps build mental resilience. In fact, one of the most well-known Buddhist practices involves visualizing the Buddha himself. During meditation, practitioners often picture the Buddha seated in front of them, radiating calm and wisdom. They imagine themselves surrounded by the Buddha's light, and through this visualization, they feel empowered and protected. It's a reminder that no matter what challenges come their way, they are not alone. The Buddhist teachings are always with them, guiding them toward enlightenment. Visualization works because the mind doesn't differentiate between what's real and what's imagined. This is why athletes use visualization techniques to improve their performance. They mentally rehearse their moves, their actions, and even their emotions during the competition. The same principle applies to our daily lives. When you visualize yourself achieving success, your brain starts to recognize that outcome as your reality. It will then find ways to make that vision a reality because it believes it's possible. Now, you might be asking, does visualization really work? Yes. The proof lies in the science behind it. Studies have shown that when people visualize success, their brain activates the same areas as if they were actually experiencing that success. It's not just wishful thinking, it's a mental rehearsal. And just like any other skill, the more you practice, the better you get. Buddhism teaches us that our mind is our greatest tool. If we can train it to focus on the positive, on success, and on our highest potential, we begin to shape our lives around those visions. But it doesn't happen overnight. Visualization is a practice, and like any practice, it takes consistency. So, how can you start using visualization in your life? Begin by finding a quiet space where you can relax and focus. Close your eyes and take a few deep breaths. Start with a clear intention. What is it that you want to achieve? Whether it's success in your career, better relationships, or personal growth, focus on that goal. Now, visualize every step of the journey. See yourself taking actions that bring you closer to your goal. Picture yourself overcoming obstacles with grace and determination. Feel the emotions of success as if they're happening right now. The more vivid your visualization, the more powerful the effect. Try to incorporate all of your senses into the experience. Hear the sounds, feel the emotions, see the details. This helps make the experience feel real. The more real it feels, the more your mind will start to believe it can happen. But visualization isn't just about personal success. It's also about helping others. Buddhist practitioners often visualize sending good energy, compassion, and love to those in need. This form of visualization, known as metta, is a powerful way to shift your mindset from self-centeredness to compassion. It's about seeing the world as a place of interconnectedness, where your actions and intentions ripple out to affect those around you. In Buddhism, visualization is also used as a tool for healing. Practitioners visualize light and energy moving through their bodies, helping to clear blockages and restore balance. This idea of using the mind to heal the body is a reminder of the incredible potential we all have. When you see yourself as whole, healed, incomplete, your body begins to reflect that. There's also a powerful Buddhist practice called the visualization of the Bodhisattva, where one imagines themselves embodying the qualities of an enlightened being. By visualizing yourself as compassionate, wise, and fearless, you begin to embody those qualities in your daily life. This is another form of acting like you've already won. You start to see yourself as the person you want to become, and that vision shapes your actions, your relationships, and your reality. So, as you move forward in life, remember that your mind is a powerful tool. By practicing visualization, you can change the course of your life. It's not about waiting for success to come to you. It's about creating success within yourself first. See the outcome you desire, and take steps toward it with clarity and purpose. Start small. Visualize one simple goal today. It might be something as simple as having a productive day or staying calm in a difficult situation. Visualize yourself succeeding in that moment and notice how it changes your experience. The more you practice, the more natural it will feel to live with the mindset of a winner. Remember, visualization isn't just a technique. It's a way of living. It's about seeing yourself in the best light possible, trusting in your abilities, and aligning your actions with your vision. It's about stepping into the role of the person you already are, even if the world hasn't caught up yet. In the end, visualization is the first step toward creating the life you want. Whether you want to succeed in your career, build stronger relationships, or grow spiritually, it all begins with a vision. And once you see it clearly in your mind, the path forward becomes clear as well. Embracing the present, the secret of nirvana. How many times do you find yourself waiting for the perfect moment? Maybe you're waiting for a better job, a bigger opportunity, or for everything in your life to line up just right before you take action. But what if the perfect moment is now? What if this very moment holds the key to everything you've been seeking? In our busy, fast-paced lives, we often forget the power of the present. We get caught up in what we have to do next, what we haven't done yet, and what we should be doing instead of focusing on what's in front of us. Buddhism teaches that true peace, or nirvana, doesn't come from external achievements or future rewards. It comes from fully embracing the present moment. Think about it. How much time do you spend worrying about the future or regretting the past? We all do it. We're conditioned to chase what's next. But what if we stopped chasing and simply allowed ourselves to be here, now, with what we already have? Wouldn't that be freeing? In Buddhism, this is referred to as the practice of mindfulness. Mindfulness is all about being present. It's about letting go of distractions, worries, and expectations, and instead, being completely aware of what is happening in the present moment. It's not about achieving anything or getting somewhere. It's about noticing and appreciating where you are, right now. Imagine taking a walk in nature. You don't have to think about your to-do list or stress over your next meeting. You're simply walking, breathing, and experiencing the world around you. The breeze against your skin, the birds singing, the sound of your footsteps. Each moment is a gift. That's mindfulness in action. This is where the secret of nirvana lies. Nirvana isn't some far-off destination that you reach after years of meditation or after overcoming countless challenges. It's the deep, peaceful understanding that the present moment is enough. You don't need to look outside yourself for happiness or fulfillment. Everything you need is here, right now, in the space between your thoughts. It's easy to get lost in the idea that success or happiness is something to be achieved. Our culture pushes us to always do more, be more, and reach for more. But Buddhism teaches us that true happiness is not a future goal, it's a state of being. It's the ability to be fully immersed in whatever you're doing, without constantly thinking about what's next or what you need to fix. So, how can you start embracing the present and finding nirvana in everyday life? The first step is to stop waiting. Stop waiting for everything to be perfect. Stop waiting for success to come. Stop waiting for the right moment. The next time you find yourself caught up in planning for the future or regretting the past, pause for a moment. Take a deep breath and bring your attention back to what is happening right now. Notice the sensations in your body, the sounds around you, the thoughts passing through your mind. Don't judge them, just observe them. By practicing mindfulness, you begin to shift your focus away from the endless cycle of chasing and striving. Instead of waiting for things to change, you start seeing that change happens in the present, with every thought, every breath, every step. This shift in perspective can be incredibly freeing. It means you don't have to wait for the perfect circumstances to feel content or successful. You can find peace in the moment, regardless of your external situation. You can start by being mindful in small moments throughout your day. Whether you're eating a meal, talking to a friend, or simply sitting quietly, practice being fully present. Don't let your mind wander to the past or the future. Just experience what is happening right in front of you. As you continue practicing mindfulness, you'll notice something incredible happening. Your life starts to feel more meaningful. You'll begin to appreciate the small things, the warmth of the sun, the sound of a loved one's voice, the feeling of your feet on the ground. These simple moments are where true peace resides. The more you embrace the present, the more you'll realize that nirvana is not some distant, unattainable place. It's a way of living, right here, right now. It's a choice to let go of the need for constant achievement and instead find satisfaction in simply being. But what does this have to do with acting like you've already won? Everything. When you embrace the present moment, you stop waiting for something outside of yourself to make you feel successful or fulfilled. You start realizing that you're already whole and complete, just as you are. You've already won. Success doesn't come from accumulating external achievements or reaching some distant goal. It comes from realizing that, in this moment, you are enough. You have everything you need to be happy, to be at peace, and to feel successful. Right now, when you act like you've already won, you step into the present with confidence and contentment. You don't need to chase after validation or approval from others. You know that you're already complete. This mindset frees you from the endless cycle of striving and instead allows you to embrace the journey. So, the next time you find yourself overwhelmed with the pressure of achieving something or waiting for things to get better, remind yourself, the secret of nirvana is already within you. It's here, in this moment. You don't need to wait for anything or anyone to validate your worth. You are enough, just as you are. By embracing the present, you free yourself from the constant chase for more. You can stop waiting for happiness to come in the future and start living it right now. That's the true secret of success. That's the power of the present moment. In Buddhism, the Buddha himself taught that the key to enlightenment is the ability to live fully in the present. This doesn't mean ignoring the future or not planning for it. It simply means not letting the future steal your peace today. When you focus on the present, you're free to act from a place of calm, wisdom, and clarity. So, let go of the need to get somewhere. Embrace the moment, and you'll start to see that everything you've been looking for is already here, waiting for you to notice it. The law of impermanence, letting go of fear. Have you ever stopped to think about how much we worry about things that are completely out of our control? Fear of failure, fear of the unknown, fear of losing what we have. These fears can paralyze us. But what if the key to overcoming fear isn't about fighting it, but accepting that everything changes? This is the law of impermanence, a core teaching in Buddhism. Impermanence simply means that everything in life is temporary. The good, the bad, the happy, the sad, they all pass. Change is the only constant, and when we understand this deeply, we stop holding on so tightly. Imagine for a moment that you're holding a stone in your hand. It feels solid and real, doesn't it? You can grip it tightly and refuse to let go, but over time, the stone will weather, crumble, and turn into dust. The stone may feel permanent in your hand right now, but in reality, it's changing all the time, just like everything else in life. This is the essence of impermanence. The things we fear losing, our possessions, relationships, even our sense of security, are all impermanent. They are as temporary as that stone, no matter how much we try to hold on to them. The more we cling, the more we suffer when they inevitably change. But here's the powerful truth. Once we understand impermanence, fear starts to lose its grip on us. The very things that once seemed so scary or overwhelming start to lose their power over us. Why? Because we realize that nothing is truly lost forever. Life moves, people change, and even our challenges have an expiration date. Fear of failure becomes less frightening when we accept that failure is just a moment in time. It's not permanent. It doesn't define us. Just as success doesn't last forever, neither does failure. What matters is how we respond to these changes. Will we see failure as an opportunity to learn? Will we allow it to push us forward, or will we let it hold us back? This understanding of impermanence is especially helpful when it comes to personal growth. How many times have you looked back on a challenge, only to realize it wasn't as big as it seemed at the time? We often get caught up in moments of stress or fear, thinking they will last forever. But in reality, those feelings fade, and we move on to the next phase of life. The Buddha often spoke of attachment as the root of suffering. When we attach ourselves to outcomes, to people, to success, we set ourselves up for disappointment. These things, though important, are not permanent. If we can learn to let go of our attachment, we free ourselves from the fear of losing them. It's easy to fall into the trap of believing that life is a series of permanent victories and losses. But this is a false belief. Every experience, every moment, is just that, a moment, a chapter in an ever-evolving story. When you understand the law of impermanence, you begin to see everything in a new light. Fear doesn't disappear, but it becomes more manageable. The worries about your future, the anxieties about your career, the fear of losing people or things, these are all temporary states. Just as your present worries will pass, so will your future challenges. Imagine how freeing it would feel to accept that no matter what happens in your life, it's not permanent. That doesn't mean you don't care about your goals, your loved ones, or your dreams. It just means that you stop living in constant fear of losing them. You live with a sense of peace, knowing that even if things change, you can handle it. Buddhism teaches us that to truly live with peace and happiness, we must learn to let go. Let go of the fear that keeps us tied to outcomes. Let go of the need for things to stay the same. Let go of the attachments that cause us to suffer. Think of how much mental energy we waste worrying about what might happen. But when we stop fearing the unknown, when we let go of the need to control everything, we create space for something greater. We start living in the present moment, free from the constant anxiety about what could go wrong. The law of impermanence also teaches us to cherish what we have right now, without clinging to it. We know it won't last forever, but that makes it all the more precious. Every moment becomes an opportunity to appreciate life as it is, without trying to hold on to it forever. It's natural to feel sad when things change, when relationships end, when we lose something important, when we face difficulties. But this sadness, too, is impermanent. It will pass, and with it, we will find new opportunities to grow, to learn, and to experience life in new ways. By embracing impermanence, we stop being afraid of change. Change becomes less intimidating when we realize it's part of life's natural flow. Whether it's a promotion at work, a breakup, or a personal setback, nothing lasts forever. The secret is not to fear change, but to accept it with grace. And here's the truly transformative part. When you let go of your fear of losing things, you open yourself up to receiving more. By accepting the impermanence of all things, you stop holding on too tightly. You allow life to flow freely through you, bringing new experiences, new opportunities, and new blessings. When you live with an understanding of impermanence, every moment becomes an opportunity to live fully. You begin to take risks because you understand that nothing is guaranteed, and that's okay. You can fall, but you will rise. You can lose, but you will gain. The circle of life continues, ever-changing, ever-moving. At the end of the day, the law of impermanence teaches us one important thing. That fear is rooted in attachment to things that are temporary. Once we let go of that attachment, we stop fearing what we cannot control. And in that freedom, we find true peace. So, what would happen if you stopped fearing the inevitable changes in your life? What if you accepted that nothing lasts forever, and that's okay? Imagine the weight that would be lifted from your shoulders. Life is too short to hold on to fear and worry. Let go, and embrace the flow of life. After all, if everything changes, why not change with it? Embrace impermanence, and you will discover a whole new world of possibilities waiting for you on the other side of fear. Zen approach to success, effortless action. In the hustle of life, it's easy to get caught up in the idea that success requires endless striving, struggling, and pushing. But what if success could come not from force, but from effortless action? What if the key to achieving our goals lies not in working harder, but in working smarter by aligning ourselves with the natural flow of life. This is where the Zen approach to success comes into play. The core of Zen philosophy is about embracing simplicity, presence, and mindfulness in all aspects of life. Zen teaches us that by letting go of excessive effort and attachment to results, we can achieve more with less struggle. It's about doing what needs to be done without forcing it. It's about finding peace in every step we take, no matter how big or small. You've probably heard of the idea of flow before, where everything just seems to click, and you feel at ease, moving naturally toward your goals. In Zen, we call this effortless action, or Wu Wei. It's not about doing less, but about doing things in the most natural, unhindered way possible. It's when your actions are perfectly aligned with the present moment and your true self. Think about a river flowing downstream. The river doesn't struggle to move. It doesn't push or force its way through obstacles. It simply flows around them. In the same way, we can learn to move through life with ease and grace, flowing around obstacles rather than fighting against them. The water doesn't try to control where it goes, yet it reaches its destination. The key is to trust the process and allow yourself to flow with life, instead of resisting it. In Zen, we talk a lot about the concept of being present. When you are truly present in what you're doing, you become one with the task at hand. It's as though you lose track of time because you are fully immersed in the moment. This state of mindfulness allows your actions to be purposeful yet effortless. When you focus solely on the process, not the outcome, things start to fall into place naturally. How often do we find ourselves worrying about the future or regretting the past? We get caught up in what we haven't achieved yet, or we dwell on the mistakes we've made. Zen teaches us that when we focus too much on what's next or what we should have done, we lose the magic of the present moment. This moment is the only one we truly have control over. So, instead of getting anxious about the future, simply do what's in front of you now with full attention and without expectation. That's where effortless action happens. Imagine a Zen master sitting calmly, breathing deeply. They are not striving to achieve anything in that moment. They are simply existing in harmony with the world around them. This calmness is not a result of inaction. It's a result of complete presence and acceptance of the current moment. In the same way, when you stop forcing things to happen, success will come to you as a natural outcome of your efforts. Effortless action doesn't mean that you do nothing. It means you engage in life without resistance. You do the work, but you do it in a way that feels right. You trust your intuition, listen to your body, and take aligned actions without overthinking them. It's about finding your rhythm and following it, without the need for constant struggle or overexertion. Have you ever noticed how when you try too hard, things tend to fall apart? This happens because you are not allowing life to unfold naturally. Instead, you're trying to control everything, which only leads to tension and frustration. The Zen way teaches you to trust that everything is already unfolding as it should. Your job is not to force the outcome, but to remain calm, patient, and open to whatever comes your way. In practical terms, effortless action looks like this. When you're working on a task, you give it your full attention, but you're not attached to the outcome. You do it because it's what needs to be done, and you trust that your efforts will lead to the best possible result. There's no need for constant worrying or second-guessing. You simply do what feels right and trust that the universe will support you. It's the same with relationships. Sometimes, we try too hard to make people like us, or we struggle to maintain connections. Zen teaches us that we don't need to force relationships, we just need to be ourselves. When you show up authentically and act from a place of peace, people will naturally gravitate toward you. The less you try to control outcomes, the more genuine and fulfilling your relationships will be. There's a beautiful story in Zen about a master who was asked, "What is the secret to happiness?" The master replied, "When you are happy, you do not strive for happiness. You simply allow yourself to be happy without expectation or effort." This is the essence of effortless action. Happiness, success, and peace are not things you can chase after. They are the natural results of living authentically and in harmony with the flow of life. Now, you might be wondering, how do I start practicing effortless action in my own life? The first step is to let go of the need to control everything. Instead of focusing on the results, focus on doing things with full awareness in the present moment. Notice when you're trying too hard or when you're getting lost in worries about the future. Then, Gently bring yourself back to the present and trust that everything will unfold as it should. It's also important to cultivate patience. The Zen master knows that not everything happens in an instant. It's about being consistent, doing the work, and then stepping back to allow things to happen naturally. Trust in the process. You may not see immediate results, but every step you take is bringing you closer to your goal. Let go of your expectations and enjoy the journey. Another key aspect of effortless action is the idea of non-attachment. Zen teaches us to let go of our attachment to outcomes, results, and even our own identity. When we become attached to how things should be, we create resistance. But when we let go of this attachment, we allow things to unfold without interference. You'll find that success often comes easier when you're not so focused on controlling every little detail. So, what does this all mean for you? It means that success doesn't have to be a battle. It doesn't have to be something you chase relentlessly. Instead, it's about aligning with the natural flow of life, trusting the process, and doing the work with full presence and without attachment to the results. When you stop fighting against the current, you'll find that everything falls into place with much more ease. Effortless action is not about inaction. It's about taking action from a place of peace and presence, without the pressure of needing things to be a certain way. The Zen master is calm, focused, and unwavering, but they are also flexible and open to whatever comes their way. They don't waste energy on unnecessary struggle. Instead, they take action from a place of deep clarity and trust. As you go forward, remember that success doesn't have to come with struggle. By embracing the Zen approach to success, you'll find that you can achieve your goals with far less effort and much more joy. When you let go of attachment, trust the process, and stay present, everything will fall into place. So, take a deep breath, step back, and allow yourself to flow with life. The more you embrace the Zen way of effortless action, the more you will begin to see success as a natural result of living in harmony with the present moment. Breaking mental barriers, overcoming self-doubt. There's a common barrier we all face, no matter who we are or what we do. It's the voice in our minds that says, "You're not good enough, this is too hard," or "You'll never make it." It's self-doubt, and it holds us back in more ways than we can count. But what if I told you that this voice isn't real? What if, instead of seeing it as a warning, you could see it for what it truly is? Just another obstacle to overcome. In Buddhism, there is a profound understanding of the mind. The Buddha often spoke about the nature of suffering and how much of our suffering is self-inflicted. We doubt ourselves, we fear failure, we worry about what others think, and in doing so, we limit ourselves. But the truth is, these barriers are all mental constructs. They are not as solid as they seem. Let me tell you a simple story. Imagine a child learning to walk. When they first try, they fall many times. But do they give up? No. They keep getting up, trying again and again. They don't question themselves. They don't think, "I'll never be able to walk." No, they simply act, step by step, until walking becomes second nature. This is how we must approach our doubts. We must see them as temporary, as something that can be overcome, step by step. The path to success is not a straight line. There will be stumbles, there will be falls, but with each one, we learn. The key is not to stop when we fall, but to get back up and continue with more determination. Self-doubt often comes from the fear of failure. And where does this fear come from? It comes from the belief that failure is permanent, that it defines us. But Buddhism teaches us something different. Everything is impermanent. The Buddha taught that all things arise and pass away, including our mistakes and failures. They are temporary. They do not define us. When we hold on to the belief that failure is permanent, we become paralyzed. We hesitate to take risks, we avoid challenges, and we miss opportunities. But when we understand that failure is not permanent, that it's simply a stepping stone, we can begin to embrace it. We can approach challenges with courage, knowing that each mistake is just another lesson. Another important teaching from Buddhism is about detachment. It's not about detaching from our goals or from the things we care about. It's about detaching from the outcome. We must stop attaching our self-worth to success or failure. Your worth is not determined by whether or not you achieve a goal. It's intrinsic, and it exists independent of external circumstances. Imagine for a moment that you could approach every situation with the same mindset as a child learning to walk. You wouldn't care about failure. You wouldn't fear what others think. You would simply take each step with trust in yourself and the process. This is the mindset that breaks through self-doubt. One way to begin breaking mental barriers is through mindfulness. When we are mindful, we observe our thoughts without judgment. We begin to notice the negative thoughts that hold us back. Instead of identifying with them, we simply observe them as passing clouds in the sky. They come and go, but they don't control us. In fact, the Buddha taught that the mind is like a wild monkey, constantly jumping from thought to thought, often without reason. This is why mindfulness is so powerful. It allows us to stop the endless cycle of doubt and fear. It gives us the space to see clearly and to make decisions that align with our true purpose, not with our insecurities. But mindfulness alone isn't enough. We also need to cultivate self-compassion. How often do we beat ourselves up for making mistakes or not being perfect? How often do we talk to ourselves in ways we would never talk to a friend? Self-compassion is about treating ourselves with the same kindness, understanding, and patience that we would show someone we care about. When we practice self-compassion, we free ourselves from the prison of self-criticism. We stop expecting perfection, and we allow ourselves to be human. We make mistakes, and that's okay. In fact, it's through our mistakes that we learn and grow. Self-doubt is also rooted in comparison. We live in a world where we are constantly comparing ourselves to others. Social media, advertisements, and even our friends can make us feel like we are falling behind. But when we compare ourselves to others, we lose sight of our own unique path. Buddhism teaches us that each person's journey is different. The Buddha himself said, "Do not compare yourself with others. Find your own path, your own way." When we stop comparing and start focusing on our own growth, we remove one of the most powerful sources of self-doubt. Another important lesson in overcoming self-doubt is patience. The path to breaking mental barriers is not an overnight process. It takes time. It takes consistent effort. But when we are patient with ourselves, when we trust that each step is part of the journey, we start to make progress. We stop expecting immediate results and start appreciating the process. In addition to patience, we must also cultivate resilience. Resilience is the ability to bounce back from setbacks, to keep going when things get tough. The Buddha spoke of the 4 foundations of mindfulness, which include the practice of resilience, being able to stay grounded and calm in the face of adversity. So how can we begin to build resilience? First, we need to acknowledge that life will always have challenges. There will be moments of difficulty. There will be times when things don't go according to plan. But instead of letting these challenges defeat us, we can use them as opportunities to grow stronger. Resilience is not about avoiding failure. It's about facing it head-on and learning from it. The Buddha taught that suffering is an inevitable part of life, but it is not something to fear. Instead, we should embrace it, learn from it, and grow through it. The next time you feel the weight of self-doubt, remember this: you are not alone. Every person who has ever achieved anything of value has faced the same feelings. The key is not to avoid doubt, but to understand that it is part of the human experience. It is temporary, and it does not define you. When you break through your mental barriers, you will begin to see the world differently. You will start to realize that you are capable of far more than you ever imagined. Self-doubt will lose its power over you, and you will become more aligned with your true potential. Remember, just like a child learning to walk, you don't need to have everything figured out right away. It's okay to stumble. It's okay to make mistakes. What matters is that you keep moving forward, step by step. The more you take action, the more you will grow. And the more you grow, the less room there will be for self-doubt. Your mind is powerful. Your thoughts shape your reality. When you let go of self-doubt and start believing in yourself, you unlock a new level of potential. You become unstoppable. So, take a deep breath, trust in yourself, and step forward. The path to success is waiting for you. It's time to break through the barriers and embrace the life you're meant to live. Daily practices to reinforce the winner's mindset. Every day holds the opportunity to reinforce the mindset of someone who has already won. It's not just about big moments or major achievements. It's in the little things, the everyday practices that can completely shift your mindset and, in turn, your life. If you want to act like you've already won, It's these daily habits that will make all the difference. But how do you begin? Where do you start? It's simple, really. Start by creating small routines that align with your vision of success. This doesn't require a grand gesture or a life-altering event. Instead, it's about the consistency of your actions. Each day, make choices that reflect the person you are becoming, not just who you are right now. The first practice to embrace is mindfulness. Mindfulness is the art of being present, fully aware of the moment, without judgment. When you start your day, take a few minutes to center yourself. Close your eyes. Breathe deeply. Focus on the feeling of the air filling your lungs, the sensation of your feet on the ground. This simple act of grounding yourself connects you to the present moment and reminds you that everything you need is already within you. But why does mindfulness matter in reinforcing the winner's mindset? Because it's about learning to be in control of your thoughts. Often, we let distractions pull us away from our true selves, clouding our judgment and adding unnecessary stress. By practicing mindfulness, you begin to filter out the noise and tap into a deeper level of clarity. You stop reacting to life, and instead, you start responding with purpose. Another key practice is affirmations. Now, don't let the words scare you. This isn't about chanting mantras that don't resonate. It's about speaking words that align with the reality you want to create. Think of your affirmations as seeds you plant in your mind every day. When you say things like, "I am confident," "I am capable," "I am already successful," you begin to rewire your brain. The more you speak these truths, the more you begin to believe them. But how do you make affirmations work for you? It's important that your affirmations feel true to you. If you say something you don't believe, your mind will reject it. But if you speak from a place of genuine belief, even if it's small, you'll notice a shift. Start small. Say something simple, like, "I am worthy of success," or "I attract abundance with ease." Repeat these words with conviction, and over time, they will become your reality. Next, visualization is a powerful practice for the winner's mindset. Visualization is the art of seeing your success in your mind before it happens. Imagine yourself achieving your goals, feeling the joy, the satisfaction, the pride. The more vividly you can imagine it, the more real it becomes. Your mind doesn't know the difference between reality and imagination. So, when you visualize yourself winning, your brain starts preparing you for that success. But visualization isn't just about imagining a successful outcome. It's about feeling the emotions attached to that success. How does it feel to achieve your dreams? What do you hear? What do you see around you? Feel the energy of that success in your body, and let it fuel your actions every day. The more you practice, the more likely you are to manifest those dreams into reality. Gratitude is another essential practice for the winner's mindset. Gratitude shifts your focus from what you don't have to what you already do. It's so easy to get caught up in what's lacking in our lives. We focus on our problems, our fears, and our challenges. But a person who has already won understands the power of focusing on the positive. Take a moment each day to think about everything you're grateful for. It could be the simple fact that you woke up today. It could be the people in your life, the lessons you've learned, the opportunities that await. When you focus on gratitude, you begin to attract more of what you appreciate. The energy of gratitude helps align you with the success you seek. But what does gratitude have to do with winning? Everything. A person who is grateful doesn't take their victories for granted. They see every moment as a gift, every experience as an opportunity for growth. This attitude of gratitude keeps them grounded, connected to their purpose, and aligned with the energy of success. Now, let's talk about self-discipline. Discipline is often viewed as a restrictive force, something that holds us back. But true discipline is about freedom. It's about choosing to act in ways that are in alignment with your goals, even when it's hard. When you act with discipline, you free yourself from distractions, from procrastination, from self-doubt. You become the master of your own destiny. Self-discipline also means taking responsibility for your actions. If you want to act like you've already won, you have to stop blaming others or external circumstances. Winners take responsibility for their lives. They own their choices, their successes, and their failures. When you own your actions, you empower yourself to make better choices moving forward. One final practice to cultivate is compassion. Compassion may not seem like it belongs in a conversation about winning, but it's essential. When you act like you've already won, you don't see others as competition. You see them as fellow travelers on the journey of life. You support them, encourage them, and celebrate their wins. True winners know that there's enough success for everyone. They don't feel threatened by the achievements of others. Instead, they find joy in seeing others succeed, because they know that the success of one person doesn't take away from their own. Compassion, then, becomes a powerful tool in building a life of abundance. Incorporating these daily practices into your life isn't a one-time thing. It's a continuous process. It's about creating a lifestyle that supports the mindset of someone who has already won. The more you practice, the more natural it becomes. The more you act like a winner, the more you'll begin to see success everywhere you go. But remember, this isn't about achieving something outside of yourself. It's about becoming the person who has already won. It's about shifting your mindset, your habits, and your actions to align with the winner you are meant to be. Each small practice, each moment of mindfulness, each affirmation, each visualization brings you closer to that person. Conclusion: becoming the person who has already won. Imagine waking up every morning knowing that you have already achieved everything you set out to do. Not in the distant future, not someday, but right now. What would that feel like? Would it change the way you carry yourself, the way you approach challenges, the way you interact with the world? If you start living with this mindset today, something remarkable happens. You become the person who has already won. This is not just a dream, nor is it some abstract concept. This is real. It's a way of life, one that's been passed down through centuries of wisdom, especially through the teachings of Buddhism. When you live with the mindset of having already achieved your goals, something magical happens. The universe responds. You begin to see opportunities where others see obstacles. You stop waiting for permission to succeed because you've already granted it to yourself. In Buddhism, the concept of nirvana isn't about reaching a distant goal. It's about experiencing peace in the present moment. It's about understanding that you have everything you need, right now. Success is not a future event. It is a way of thinking, a way of seeing the world through the eyes of someone who has already won. Think about it for a moment. How often do we find ourselves trapped in the idea that success is something we must chase, something that only comes after we struggle and sacrifice? What if success was not something out there waiting for us, but something already inside us? What if we simply needed to unlock it by changing the way we view ourselves and our circumstances? When you embrace the idea of acting like you've already won, you are not ignoring reality. You are choosing how to experience reality. You stop waiting for everything to be perfect. You stop looking for external validation. You create your own path. You become the embodiment of your own success. Remember the Zen teachings. Everything is already within you. All the wisdom, all the strength, all the potential. It's already there. The Buddha taught that we are not separate from the world around us. We are interconnected with everything. When you begin to act like you have already won, you align yourself with the flow of life, instead of resisting it. The obstacles you face become stepping stones, not barriers. You no longer see difficulties as threats, but as lessons that guide you toward your ultimate victory. The beauty of this mindset is that it doesn't matter where you are right now. Whether you are in the midst of a challenge or in a phase of uncertainty, you are already equipped with everything you need to succeed. You already have the strength, the wisdom, and the ability to thrive. It's about believing that. It's about trusting that the moment you choose to act like you have already won, you start to manifest that reality. So, how do we do this? How do we live as though we have already won? It begins with shifting your mindset. Instead of constantly looking ahead and feeling like you are falling short, start looking around you and recognizing that you have what you need. Start thinking like the person who has already succeeded, and you will begin to see the world differently. Every action you take becomes infused with purpose. Every step you make moves you closer to your goal. You stop wasting energy on self-doubt. You stop comparing yourself to others. You are no longer chasing something outside of yourself because you know that success is already within. This mindset change is a gradual process, but it's incredibly powerful. The more you practice it, the more it becomes your reality. It's not about pretending or faking it. It's about embodying your true potential. It's about aligning your thoughts, words, and actions with the belief that you are already the person who has achieved their dreams. And let me remind you again, this doesn't mean ignoring your struggles or pretending that everything is perfect. It means seeing beyond the challenges, understanding that they are temporary, and that your true success is something that exists in the present. When you stop focusing on the end result and instead focus on embodying the success you desire, everything shifts. The journey itself becomes the reward. Then when you live with this mindset, everything you do, whether it's in your career, relationships, or personal growth, becomes an extension of that success. You no longer need to chase happiness, because happiness is the byproduct of being who you are meant to be. You stop striving and start flowing with life. Now, as we reach the end of this video, think about this. Who are you, really? Are you the person who is always looking for success to come from the outside? Or are you the person who already embodies success, who lives as though they have already won, even before the world acknowledges it? I encourage you to take this message with you. Start living as if you have already achieved your dreams. Start thinking and acting like the winner you truly are. Embrace the present moment and understand that you have everything you need already. You are not separate from success. You are success. So, as we close this video, ask yourself this. What would my life look like if I started acting like I have already won? And then, take the first step. Live it. Breathe it. Feel it. Success isn't something you chase. It's something you embody. Thank you for joining me on this journey today. If this video has inspired you in any way, I encourage you to share it with others. Let's spread the wisdom and help more people realize that they already have everything they need to succeed. Now, go ahead. Act like the person you've always dreamed of becoming. Because the truth is, you already are.